It is Thursday night, which means it's time for another Toypixx live stream. And ladies and gentlemen, I was way wrong. I believe it was in the last stream that I thought, guys, we're not going to get much until Toy Fair just because, they're saving all the things for that. Holy crap. I've never been more stoked to be so wrong. I figure next Thursday, we're going to be hit with tons of leaks and all that good stuff. But I didn't expect things to happen this early. So what we're going to talk about this fine evening are a lot of the things that went up for pre-order in the past week, as well as an actual leak or possibly 4 leaks, which that's yay AI leaky faucet backgrounds. But anywho, that's what we're talking about. We're going to have some fun chatting all of those things. So if you have anything that you've seen that you're excited about that maybe you found out about in the past week or in a few days prior to, I don't know, maybe more recently than the past week. Words have tripped me up already this fine live stream. Let's chat about it in ye old comments. Now, if you're catching this on the replay, let me know what that's gone up recently or what are some of the leaks you've heard where you're like, okay, that could be really cool. I'm really excited about that. Or just the news, like what Hasbro's been doing as far as new lines and things like that. That's where we're at. Let me know those things in the comments. Now, let's go to the esteemed chat where we've got the people hanging out. Oh, man, and it's a good night. It's going to be a good night. Looks like Sci-Fi's got plenty of stuff for us. Sci-Fi, what's going on, sir? Greetings and toytations, everyone. Star Wars The Black Series Lord Starkiller is selling like gin during the Depression. He's going gone for the price of $43. The 70s classic looking. Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider and his Flaming Cycle went up for pre-order today on fan channel sites for $56 and is due out in April of this year, or 2026 as it was actually typed. This is what happens when I decide to ad-lib. Pics have been taken and shown online of the Cobra Law, Royal Guard, and Ninja for Zartan in their box packaging on the Bay of E. There's also a little video of Jada Toys Akuma in different poses, size comparisons to the other Street Fighter figures, and all of his accessories and packaging. There's also talks of his white-haired variant coming out possibly around San Diego Comic-Con. 4 Horsemen have a new Kickstarter project going up for their Mythic Legions. Let's see, RPG. Nice. This RPG also features 6-inch figures that come with accessory packs to transform your figure into different races or classes. The figures cost $30 and can pop and swap like the rest of their figures. Nice. These figures cost less due to less paint apps. For example, all the heads and buckles aren't painted like they normally do if you'd like. You can buy these figures and packs separately and ignore the RPG part completely, vice versa, or just grab the whole enchilada. Mexican food sounds good. I'm not sure on all prices and tiers because I only watched their Wednesday night live stream and haven't went to the site page. We might have to do that. I did not know about those things, Sci-Fi, so awesome. Way to look out. Yet also their Red Sun's Wave with the dwarf couple, the assassins, and the big brown bear mount will finally be shipping out soon. They recently received 1 or 2 of their containers. Let's see, and is their way all in, and then individual pre-orders will be their first priority to be shipped out. Hopefully last week, if you were on the fence about pre-ordering Ramen Toys Super Musk, you grabbed it. As of the start of this week, when you go to their site, it will say in stock and is therefore no longer a pre-order, which means you won't receive all of their tier bonus objects, including the lighted phone booth that actually fell around 100 shy of its goal, but Ace still decided to include it anyway, whereas Marvel Legends HasLab had a similar issue with the scroll faceplate for Giant Man and said, No, it's things such as this that generate goodwill as well as not repeating but increasing customers and is just plain classy. Head on over to Valaverse, the Gear 10 bundle and individual Reaper drivers for the Vanguard are finally available for sale. The Gear 10 is $85 and there's a flat shipping fee of $8, but you can also break up your payments with Shop Pay. Same goes for Four Horsemen on their site. In movie rumor news, supposedly Avengers Doomsday opens with Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, really, and Doc Ock together trying to save their Earths against the X-Men, who are trying to save their own Earth due to the incursions. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is due out in March on Disney Plus this year. Trailers are available. Also on Apple TV, Monarch Legacy of Monsters, is coming soon, featuring Godzilla and Kong against a threat from a different dimension. The threat has vibes similar to the Pacific Rim kaiju, with a pinch of Cloverdale with its parasitic flea creatures. Mess toys. Scarlet Hero, aka Scarlet Spider, using Rebeltech molds is out and it looks spectacular. Yesterday, Mezco put up pre-orders for their 6-inch Nightcrawler, Mein Gotten Himmel. He looks gorgeous. He has a host of accessories, including several different swords, multiple hands, 3 different heads, a large lighted BAMF effect, a stand, and 3 different posable tails, including one that can hold one of the swords. My only hesitation is the material used for his costume. If it's that pleather or vinyl stuff, then it's going to tear and deteriorate very quickly. Otherwise, this Kurt Wagner is perfect. Anton, excellent work, Sci-Fi George. Just remember that your comments are always protected by this Time Lord. Thank you, Anton. Thanks for helping out Sci-Fi. Thank you, Anton, most esteemed Time Lord from Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi in April, the Marvel DC crossover goodness continues with front cover with a mashup of Venom and Bizarro symbols on the back. Oh, dear. Spider-Man and Superman crossover comics, sweet. Back cover will be Venom and Bizarro. Front will be Spider-Man and Superman. These last 3 sentences are disjointed because YouTube erased my previous one that was more cohesive for some insane reason. That's all right, it happens. Well, that's the bi-weekly rundown for the week. Now back to you, Dave. Gathered together from remote galaxies are 13 of the most sinister chatters of all time. The Esteemed Chat. Their regular objective, the conquest of the universe. Only one group dares to stop the intergalactic threat. The Super Friends. Psh, they got nothing. By the way, the Skeletron MK2 vehicle I got last month is still great. I just received the heavy armored faceplate and the customized flight stand. It's amazing how just a few little details can expand the awesomeness of something you already thought was practically perfect. That sounds good. Also, the Savage Crucible Dungeon set is now available on their site for $30. An additional $5 from the previous pre-order. Tonight's beverage of choice is Canada Dry Fruit Splash Cherry Ginger Ale. Very nice, sir. Mine is just cherry bubbly. I'm lame. What can I say? Thanks again, Sci-Fi, for always keeping us up to date on all the things. Much appreciated. What's going on, Toy Odyssey? Good to see you this fine evening. Sci-Fi, a little talkative. Hey, man, Sci-Fi had stuff to talk about. What's up, Brick? Good to see you, man. Toy Odyssey, I finally got enough stuff to talk about. I know, that's what I'm saying. It's messed up. There's so much stuff now. Toy Odyssey just got my Krieger the Shunned today. So freaking awesome. I don't know if I know which one that is. What's up, LBZ? Good to see you tonight, sir. What's going on, Clank? Good to see you as well. It's going to be a good night, gentlemen. And if there are any ladies watching, going to be a good night for all of us. It's good times tonight. What do we have? Oh, man. All right, so let's just get it kicked off because there is quite a bit to chat about tonight. Hello, Kyrus. Good to see you tonight, man. All right. First off, I want to start with this, just so everybody knows. February 14th through the 17th is Toy Fair 2026. That is in New York. The 14th is, I believe, a Saturday. Let me see here. What do we have? What's today? Yeah, so the 14th is a Saturday. I gotta think we're gonna be getting leaks for next Thursday. So hopefully we've got some of those to talk about when that live stream happens. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody saw that the Toy Fair isn't this coming weekend. It's the following weekend. So just be prepared. We're going to see a lot of crazy stuff, I think. Whoop, jumping. He's from Savage Crucible. Oh, that's right. Okay, Toy Odyssey. Thank you. I recognize the name, but I couldn't tell you why. Appreciate it. Krieger is my favorite of Wave 2. Might be tied with Jaeger. Or is it Jagger? Does he have the moves? Never mind. I'm not making that joke. Toy Odyssey. All right. Heck yeah, Brick. What's up, Ghost Tab? Good to see you tonight, man. All right. So anyway, just wanted to make sure everybody knew what was going on there. Now that we all know when Toy Fair is from, so 14th and 15th are Saturday and Sunday, meaning the 16th and 17th, Monday and Tuesday. I'm kind of curious. Normally it feels like any reveals and all that goes on over the weekend, but it seems strange to me, and let me know if this has happened in the past. It seems strange to me that it's also happening on Monday and Tuesday. So we might get more stuff that we don't find out about over the weekend on Monday and Tuesday. Who knows? Who knows? But again, if you guys can remember how they've been in the past, let me know. Mr. Matson's in. February 11th, next Joe revealed the Enforcer, and hopefully Past Master will be fully revealed. The Enforcer. Could it be that they're actually re-releasing Nemesis? That would be way too easy, I think. The Past Master. I don't know. Man. Okay, so that's what we've got there. Now, in keeping with all this craziness, I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of stuff. This is the itinerary for next weekend's Mezco Toys Fair. So, day one, February 14th. I remember that they usually do this stuff over Toy Fair. So, let's see. I'm going to kind of skip ahead. I'm going to skip around. Okay. So on the 14th, reveals starting at 12 Eastern time. So back-to-back reveals rolling out throughout the day. You won't want to blink. Man, I hope I get to blink. I don't want to keep these eyes open for all time. They'll dry out really fast, and I'll have to pour bubbly in them, and I'm sure that'll sting. But that's what's going on there. Pink Skull's Serenade. All right, complete the lyrics. All right, guys. I'm just going to skip ahead to where we've got reveals and stuff like that. So, Sadie Sweet, can you find all of her friends hidden? No, nobody cares. All right, let's see here. Random winners will receive, oh, never mind. Okay. So 4 random winners who fill in all the blanks on whatever the Sadie Sweethearts is will receive the Return of the Living Dead dolls, Lou Sapphire, the Return of the Living Dead dolls, Sadie, Posey, and Damien in a Killer Fun Pack. All right, so they are having contests. Game on. Oh, more reveals at noon. So Saturday and Sunday, they've got reveals happening. There will be contests. So there you go. Mezco Toys Fair lasts 2 days. And you're going to want to start being on the lookout for reveals around noon on each day. So there is that as well. Woo! Jumping, what's up, Clank? A lot of what I was expecting to see at Toy Fair was already shown this week. The next Transformers wave looks amazing. Clank, I fully agree. And we're going to torment people here tonight because we're going to talk about them. But hopefully everybody's pretty cool. I think most of us at least know our Transformers. Brick, I hear you, Matthew, but can I say there's just too many animalistic warrior action figures out there to compete with? Man, yeah, but so much is so good now. It's why I look for reasons not to buy stuff. Is there's something around the corner that's going to be awesome. Kairos Toypixx, I ordered the Cyan Lion Noda figure. It's from the Monkey King world. Oh, I didn't know that. All right, Kairos, thank you. 1/12, it's got super good articulation and a great sculpt job too. Man, so much good stuff is out there. Mr. Matson, no, Enforcer and Passmaster are internal code words. I figured those were the code words. I was just thinking, is it possible that they would be so obvious with Enforcer and being like a regular release of Nemesis Enforcer or something? Placeholders until we know their names. It's what is on the shipping manifests. Oh, those sneaky, sneaky Hasbros. Brick, I'm really looking forward to getting more clarity from Mattel on their Masters of the Universe lines moving forward and a glimpse at what they have in mind for DC. Man, I can't wait to see what they've got for DC. And honestly, it looks like they're going more 1/12 scale with Motu now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how tempted I am. It'll depend a little bit. But I have to say, overall, I'm kind of impressed with their Chronicles line right now. I mean, you guys know I don't do movie figures, but they still look really good. See, Passmaster is the silhouette. Ah, okay. Well, I guess that makes some sense. Who would it be? It wouldn't be Colton. Colton wouldn't worn a cowboy outfit. I'm thinking, I'm going literal on this. Is there anybody that knows things? Is there anybody in G.I. Joe lore that's like a historian or something? All right, Paul, hello, sir. Good to see you tonight. All right, John, hola. Woo, good times. Okay, Mr. Matson, Hasbro Times Street Fighter figures and Hasbro Landed Voltron movie figures also. Yep, I got that stuff called up so we can chat about that kind of craziness. Toy Fair is next weekend, but actually starting this weekend in Japan is another Wonderfest. There's going to be some great stuff coming out of that show too. Holy crap, how did I miss that? I can't wait. Oh, ugh, so much good stuff right now. Thank you, Paul, for keeping everybody up to date and informed and chatting, because that's where the fun's at. All right, let's see here. Whoop. Well, I closed that. Go me. Now we're going to start just chatting about the stuff I have on the tabs up top. And then we'll go from there. Let's see. Let's start right. I don't know where it started. Let's see. Looks like we're starting here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Age of the Primes figures. And I know I haven't been talking Transformers so much, but I don't know exactly what I'm doing with them just yet. I have a very good idea. But we'll be talking some Transformers this fine evening, because I was really impressed with what was shown. Now, right now, what I'm getting is G1 and some Bayverse, because, you know, you got to have a limit on it somewhere. Otherwise, you're going to spend all the money on all the robots in disguise. But if I had all the money, I would be getting Ratchet here. I like a lot of what's going on when it comes to the Transformers franchise as a whole. I think their figures are really good. I mean, what I've picked up the last year and change, I suppose, has been really solid. Like when I first started picking up Transformers, the reason that I didn't for years is I picked them up around Earthrise and the quality was just bad. So I stopped for several years. But yeah, man, I think Ratchet's looking pretty good. I am a fan. But we won't spend tons of time on each one here. I just want to make sure you see what's up. You see all the craziness. Whoa, this is crazy. We also have Smokescreen. Sorry, I was looking for the arrow in the wrong spot. We also have Smokescreen from Transformers Prime. Now, this one, Transformers Prime, seems to kind of get a short end of the stick when it comes to this line. Like, it feels like this could have gone over. I mean, I'm not an engineer, so I don't want to sit here and say I know better than anybody else. I don't. My only thought is, in every other continuity they've done for Age of the Primes, they've really tried to stick to show model, with the exception of animated, but even animated's pretty close to show model. And they really haven't done that with Prime. And all it would have taken here is to have this chest piece fold down to the sides a little bit. Again, though, I don't know how easy that would have been. This is a new designer, and I think it looks really good as just a generic transformer. I'm not sure how much I dig it for prime smokescreen, but I don't hate it. I think it's a cool looking bot. Again, this one would be mine if I weren't focused on the G1 and the Baver style stuff. So let's close him out. Let's go to another one, and then I shall head to ye old chat. Where'd we? I seem to have gotten stuck somehow. All right, we've got Swerve, and yeah, Swerve is on pre-order. He's G1, so I did have to order this guy. I have Gears. I love Gears. Swerve is basically, they did a little bit. They changed his head. They changed his chest. He's going to look good. But now, let's go to the chat, see what we've got going on with the people. Sci-Fi, Toy Fair, all's fair in love and toys. That's fair. I totally get that, Sci-Fi. Let's see. Thanks, Kyrus. Let's see. I'm going to keep pushing buttons. Clank. I'm surprised how well that ER hoist mold works for that Earthrise hoist mold works for animated Ratchet. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty it took me a minute to figure out who it was until people started calling it out. I'm like, oh yeah. John, I need to pick one up and check the quality. Yeah, they really are a lot better. No, I say that. And of course you'll pick one up and it'll be a lemon. But genuinely, they've been a lot better than they were back in the Earthrise days. Assuming Mezco doesn't take all my money. Mezco is going to be after everybody's money, it looks like, next weekend. Sci-Fi, there's a third-party company that has come out with a fantastic-looking Kratos God of War now for pre-order on 5K Toys and is thrown for anyone interested. Might have to head over there, too. Clank, I wish Smokescreen's phase shifter was removable, but it's still nice that they included it with them. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I knew what their limitations actually were. I know what the higher-ups tell them their limitations are, so I'm sure that's what they actually are. So that felt like I was just dancing around a lot of word salad there. Basically, I'm not sure that with the budget that they were allotted, that they could have made it a separate piece. So if they couldn't, I think that's probably the best way to go. I just don't know. John, I almost got Gears, but realized I only liked them for issue 3 of the Marvel comic. I like Swear much more due to the IDW comics. I still need to read those. I am so far behind on comic lore with Transformers. Sci-Fi Paul, hey, all right. Keeping the people involved. I'm digging it. Okay, see, I'm kind of flying through a little bit here. Let's go to our boy Power Glide. This guy, also pre-order. I had Power Glide and I had Swerve when I was younger too. But Power Glide himself was always just fun. He cracked me up. And this, for anybody that remembers the episode, Hoist Goes, it's either Hoist Goes Hollywood or Hoist Goes to Hollywood. All like 4 or 5 other Autobots showed up because they decided they could be in the movies too. And at one point, I think the director had them all put on this alien mask. So they actually gave Power Glide this alien mask, which I think is hysterical. He also, from the episode The Girl Who Loved Power Glide, he's got this panel opens up and there's a little heart in there. They might show it on the back of the box. Let's see here. I'm not sure if they do or not. Well, they do, but you really have to zoom in. If you find a picture of the box, go to that upper left image there, and you'll see that that panel opens up and there's a little heart inside. Very funny, very strange, but I'll take it. Power Glide, and away we go. That was a terrible Power Glide impression, just for the record. Now, let's grab another one. What do we got? We have Prime Cliffjumper. Cliffjumper has always had a soft spot in my ever-loving transforming heart because he and Gears were my very first Transformers. So even though this isn't the G1 cliff jumper, I am kind of tempted by this guy. This is, I think I said, the Prime Universe cliff jumper. I do like the car mode. I think that looks really good. But again, he's not quite Prime Universe. Like, he's not as accurate as a lot of the other figures are for the Age of the Primes and Legacy was and all that. Still, I do dig the look of this guy. And hey, he was Dwayne Johnson in the tune, so that's got to be something, right? Star, hey guys, just saw a bit of the Powers Patoy Expedian Fig. Nice, looks really good. That line looks very promising. Enjoying the idea of collecting great looking figs with no popular media behind them. Yeah, man, I think those look incredible. But man, they are pricey. I'll have to think about it. But they do look great. Brick Sci-Fi, was that Kratos by Bro Toys? I just pre-ordered Bro Toys Guts Fig that they updated the faces and sword for. Also on 5K, good stuff. Also pre-ordered that Medi Toys Troll from 5K last week. Man. Okay, John, I think some of the Masterpiece line came with those masks too, did they? I haven't paid attention to the Masterpiece line, except there's a recent Optimus Prime that looks incredible. But really, I haven't paid attention to the Masterpiece line for several years. Wouldn't surprise me, though. I think there was Trax, who I had the Masterpiece Trax. He didn't come with it. But then there was also Hoist, obviously. There was Sunstreaker. I'm trying to remember. So maybe Sunstreaker did. I'm trying to remember who all was in there. Let's see, Kyrus, the girl that loved Power Glide. That was a great episode, Toypixx. Microbots is one of my favorites, too. Microbots was great. I thought it would be fun to do pictures of just Brawn and Perceptor hanging out with each other because of that episode. They're like best buddies now, you know? Brick, are we all so mature that no one's giggling at the name Power Glide? What? I'm just gonna keep going. Apparently. But now you put that in my head, Brick. Come on. Aw, I liked Power Glide. I still like Power Glide. I'll likely pick up Cliff Jumper. Good man, John. Like I said, man, I think he looks really cool. Star was wishing that 3-0 would have done Prime in DLX or MDLX. Man, 3-0 doing these guys, oh, they'd look glorious. Star, Magnificent Mecha doing Transformers Prime would be spectacular. I don't know that I know Magnificent Mecha. Not cool, Dave. Not cool. But let's pretend to be shocked, shall we? All right. We're still going. We're still flying. Ooh, I'm going to wait on that one. That might be a hint as to who I was looking at. What do we got here? Where are we at? All right. This. Okay, pre-orders are sold out at BBTS. I don't know about anywhere else. This is Liege Maximo. This figure is basically based off a single page in, I believe it was issue 12 of the Transformers Generation 2 comic. This thing is glorious, at least to me. I like kind of that. I like that totally different Transformers look. Obviously, I dig my classics as well, but it's nice to see something that's just totally different. And they had to make up a lot of this. A lot of this you didn't see in that panel. But yeah, man, this guy, he looks pretty big. And he has kind of a Unicron look going on. But I'm not sure. I mean, I know he's not supposed to be tied to Unicron. He's one of the primes. Honestly, I would say Liege Maximo, from what I understand, was kind of the Starscream of the primes. He was in the background trying to get everybody all psycho and wound up and all that. It's because of Liege Maximo that Megatronus accidentally killed Solus Prime. All that good stuff. But yeah, I love the look of this guy. This is just super cool to yours truly. What do you got, Sci-Fi? Brick, I believe so. Duh, I forgot about the troll. I still have to get the two-headed ogre in blue. Make it so, number one. That's probably going to be the only Star Trek reference I ever fire off. But yeah, I've been collecting the Age of the Primes figures. The only one I don't have so far that's already out is Star Optimus Prime. I need to get that thing because I fear that when they make an announcement for the HasLab, it'll tie into him somehow. And frankly, that scares me. Now, here we go. This, ladies and gentlemen, has caused all kinds of ire in the Transformers fan community. I was good because I figured, now this is Nexus Prime, and Nexus Prime, for those who don't know, is the first combiner, kind of the god of the combiners when it comes to Transformers. And when he was initially revealed, he was just this guy, no limbs, no anything. And we were told he fits on the Superion stuff. So you replace Silverbolt with Nexus Prime, and now you've got Nexus Prime, basically, just put together as the first combiner. Well, people just went insane on the boards. I mean, they flipped out. It's why I don't participate in the TFW 2005 boards anymore. Most of the time, you can find people with some level heads, but then there are people that don't have level heads at all. In my head, Evan and Mark, who are the designers, like the lead designers for Hasbro for their Transformers team, is like Lenny on G.I. Joe, is like Trevor on Turtles for NECA, and is like June for pretty much everything. They want to do the best possible job. If they're hamstrung at all, it's not them, it's the higher ups. So what happened is people are sitting there saying, because something that happened is limbs got announced for this guy. So people are right away saying, oh, it was damage control and all that. And maybe it was. Maybe, in all fairness, it was damage control. Maybe they were planning on it for forever and they just couldn't fit it in this year to come out with those limbs. But either way, now we're getting limbs. So that's a very cool thing. And the way you can tell who to take seriously in a community is, okay, now we know we're getting what everybody said they wanted. Now it's time to stop freaking out. So at this point, if people are still freaking out, they're people that you just don't need to listen to in the Transformers community. That's at least my take on it. And I think this guy looks incredible. Everybody was saying he looked really generic. If you look on the live stream, he looks great. I mean, I'm a huge fan of this guy. Yeah, needless to say, Liege Maximo and Nexus Prime are also pre-ordered. But yeah, this guy caused a huge uproar to the point where it almost makes you not want to be a part of the fan community with Transformers. Like there, you're just like, you know what? I'll collect them, but I don't want to be out there talking about them and getting people to chat about Transformers because I don't want those kinds of people coming on to streams and videos and commenting. But we'll see. I do have things. I have plans when it comes to Transformers. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Nexus Prime caused a lot of trouble, a lot of yelling, a lot of psychotic behavior, to be perfectly honest. So if you want him, go for him. I think he'll be fun to have just because everybody was so mad about him. But I don't know about those of you that are watching this live stream. I think I don't have it in me to get mad about toys anymore. I don't even have it in me to get mad about pop culture things, like when something doesn't happen right in my favorite fandom or with my favorite franchises. I just don't have it in me to get upset about it. I think I'm more to the point of, oh, well, something else will come out that's really cool than I've ever been before. So yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of insanity about this figure. And it makes you ashamed to be a nerd almost. Anton, what's going on, sir? The last of the Time Lords is indeed here. Good to see you. Dave to Moonbase 2. Dave to Moonbase 2. Are you there? Jazz to Moonbase 2. Wait, yeah, that was Moonbase 2. Prime was on Moonbase 2. Brick, Sci-Fi. No, wait. Bumblebee and Spike were on Moonbase 2. Sorry. Sci-fi, I got that blue two-headed ogre. Brilliant fig, so fun. Ah, you guys are speaking a language I need to start looking into, I think. Star, does anyone else get tired of a franchise when it gets so divided up into so many different lines like Transformers has? I used to really be into them, but at the moment, I'm completely lost. It's tough, man. Like, I don't know about Star Trek at all because it seems to be kind of all over the place, and it's for that same reason. So I know what you're talking about, Star. With me, I've just kept up with at least the shows and the movies. I haven't kept up with the comics. So when it comes to the shows and movies and all that stuff, then I usually know what's going on. This is Covenant of Primus stuff that I also don't necessarily know, but that I need to read up on to make sure I've got everything right. So if you need to know about the primes, just find the Covenant of Primus and you'll learn all about them. Clank, Nexus really should have either been the Titan instead of Star Convoy or the full combiner instead of Bruticus, but he looks pretty good regardless. And I do agree. And I think the designers would agree with that too, to be perfectly honest. They just weren't given that kind of budget. If you guys saw the live stream or the fan stream, I guess, where he was talking about, yeah, we were going to go leader, then we were going to go duocons, and then we got bumped down to Voyager. Like, obviously, the suits were making a lot of the decisions for them. So when they heard the outrage, maybe that's when they decided, okay, we got to do the limbs. Or maybe they'd already had them planned because, again, I think Mark and Evan really know what they're doing. So it's possible that they are actually in the pipeline and have been for a while. We won't know, but the end result is, whichever it is, we're getting the limbs. So I'm good with it. John, you fight negativity with positivity. I know. I'll be able to be pretty, basically, I just ignore it all. But man, yeah, I just stay off those boards. It's rough. Let's see. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Anton, it's nonsense to get mad about toys. He looks pretty neat. If you don't like it, don't buy it. It's just like anything else. If you have a comic book you don't like and you don't like the story, don't buy. Yeah, I'm pretty much there. I can get why people would be a little upset because he is one of 13 figures. It's not like he's kind of a standalone figure, but not as crazy as they were on the boards. Like, I think for me, I've been in the game long enough, and apparently I'm actually mature enough, which is insane to say, to just not let it bug me like that. And I know that there's all ages on the boards. What I fear is, what if some of those people absolutely freaking out were our age or older? That's scary. Sci-fi, I've heard that the classified groups are far worse. Oh, really? Oh no, I have not been on his tank in a long time. They did seem pretty rough there, but it's been a while. Whoop. Brick, I appreciate that kind of level-headedness, Dave. Thank you, Brick. I appreciate it, man. You strike me. I mean, you're pretty level-headed yourself. I think most of us here are. It's so tough, man. You're just like, holy crap, you guys are nuts. John, I would say that if you were ever getting upset about toys, it's not the toys that's upsetting you. Remember, you don't notice when someone goes from 1 to 99. You only notice when they hit 100. Oh, that's fair. That's a good call. Spaded, what's up, sir? I'm here to complain. I heard Malibu Stacy's new hat is the wrong shade of pink. Rabble. Now that I'll get ticked off about. I will throw down if you're going to throw down with, or if you're going to screw up Malibu Stacy's hat. Star, I can hang on to the franchise with one solid line. If I stick with the magnificent mecha figs, and they're truly awesome, for Transformers, I think I'll be okay. Good man, Star. Mr. Madsen, did I miss you talking about Hasbro getting the Street Fighter movie license and the Voltron movie license? No, you have not. We're on our way to that for sure. Anton, it's the same thing in the Doctor Who community. Some people like the new stuff. The blue hate it, and they don't like the new Doctor. Well, if you don't like him, don't watch. I mean, it all makes sense to me. I think I figured out, so you know how Marvel and Star Wars have had a lot of hate and all that stuff. I thought about it because everybody's saying, yeah, but there's good and bad all the time, all the way through. Totally agree. I think most people would say, because I had to kind of suss this out for myself as well. I think most people would say Marvel up through Endgame, the MCU, was about 70 to 80% good. And after Endgame, it's been about 70 to 80% bad. And I think it would be probably the same what most people would think for Star Wars pre-Disney and post-Disney is it was about 70 to 80% good, and now it's about 70 to 80% bad. I think that's why people are so upset about those two franchises. And I could be wrong on percentages, but I think the point stands. It's not that there's good and bad post and pre and all that. It's that there was more good to most people here and less good to most people here. I think that's where we're at when it comes to Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, Doctor Who. I think all of it. It's just people remember it being really good at one time and it's not as good to them. I'm not making any judgments here. I know what I think, but it's not as good to them now than it used to be. Kyrus, Toypixx, are you planning on getting any dioramas in the future? Kyrus, I have to. The Super Musk is on its way, but I need to figure out what to do for Transformers too. But yeah, the Super Musk for sure. And I also need to get something for my Mythic Legions figures because they're gonna need some castles or something. So we'll see. How about you? What are you going for? Star, Dave, I recognize that you're a devout Flint/G.I. Joe fan, but what was your second most prominent nerd love? Let's see. What would be my second most prominent nerd love? I see in G.I. Joe, Flint's the man for sure. But to say G.I. Joe is way up there, my first love was Star Wars. I think it kind of jumps all over the place. I think when I look at it, Star, it's insane, but my first love with toys and for the past several years might be right now Transformers. And I say that simply because I've bought and sold a lot of stuff over the years. And the only regrets I have when it comes to selling are selling some of my Transformers. So I think that qualifies as Transformers being first. G.I. Joe overall, like Flint is my first nerd love in G.I. Joe. My second nerd love in G.I. Joe, probably the Havoc. I know it sounds insane, but the heavy articulated vehicle ordnance carrier is something that I want them to do so badly. The Silver Mirage is also up there. But yeah, my first nerd love right now is probably Transformers. We'll see. We'll see how that evolves. I'm sure that time changes all that stuff. Harry, what's up? Hasbro has a Street Fighter license. Man, Street Fighter is the town bicycle of toys. No. We all know that title is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Harry. Come on. Mr. Madsen, it's just the movie license that's coming out this year. Yep. John, I disagree with both of those. People forget how to crap under, let's see. People forget how crap older sci-fi and superhero movies were. And I'm there, but I mean, I think that like if I put it out there for me, at least as far as the MCU and Star Wars, I like the MCU through Endgame a lot more than I like the MCU post Endgame. And same with Star Wars. I like Star Wars a lot more pre-Disney and less post-Disney, though I will admit there is plenty of stuff during Disney that I think is pretty good. Okay, Anton, I think that it's like this with the TV shows with Marvel. Watch Daredevil, that was great. Watch Wonder Man, that was great. The other stuff has its good and bad points. Yeah, I haven't seen Wonder Man yet. Has anybody? So, Anton, you thought that was good? Anybody else digging Wonder Man? John, it's like trying to judge fantasy stuff. Lord of the Rings raised the bar so high, it's hard to look better than okay. And that's true. Sci-Fi Avengers Doomsday will take place directly after Endgame. Take from that what you will. Oh dear. Harry, nope, Street Fighter is easy. I mean, yeah, but I think Turtles are easier. It's just weird. The shell gets in the. Never mind. Anton. Yes, there was a time when superheroes were kind of treated like the ugly stepchild on television. You had good stuff like the Incredible Hulk and a few others, but most of them were just labeled for. Let's see. Duke is less than Flint Spaded. I love it every time you throw that out there. It reaffirms what I say anyway. For kids. Got it, Anton. Thank you, man. Spaded one. You thought you got away with one, didn't you? With one? What did I get away with? Uh-oh. Anton, well, maybe. Let's not start that argument with a Flint and Duke. Remember that they're supposed to be fellow Joes and they're supposed to be brothers. No, Falcon and Duke are supposed to be brothers, but that's only in the cartoon. In the comic, I believe Falcon is Hawk's son, wasn't he? Or was that something they were going to do? No, wait, were they going to do that in the movie? I don't remember. Basically, Falcon in only the cartoon was Duke's brother. Spaded one, yeah, they're brothers in arms, but Duke's arms have more girth. Well, I mean, that's because he's got to eat a lot of food so he can do the whole poster boy thing. Flint's got to actually be out there leading the troops. Anton Sci-Fi, a friend of mine, is going to order me for my birthday, which is March, the new Tegan figure. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing that it's Doctor Who. Anton, I'm going to shock everybody. My first love before Doctor Who, and it always will be, was Planet of the Apes. I have a summer house there. That's awesome, Anton. See, that's cool. That's cool. For everybody, like, okay, that's a good question for the night, guys. What would you say your first nerd love is? Harry, don't forget the Punisher series. The Punisher. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Star Dave, has any of your nerd loves ever produced what you would regard as the definitive version of that particular subject? The perfect G.I. Joe, the perfect Transformer, the best of the best. Man. You know, comics being a nerd love too. Oh, man, I got to tell you, I really like the Primes. But comics being a nerd love as well, I think Mofex has produced several of the best. Like, I love let's see, just looking at those, Magneto, Storm, Gambit are all perfection. Wolverine is up there as perfection. Let's see, and that's if I'm looking at the X-Men shelf. I really like Psylocke, but most people aren't a big fan of that, I don't think. I think the Superman and Batman from Hush are perfection. Steel from Return of Superman's perfection. Bane from, what was that, the Dark Knight? What? No, not Dark Knight, is in the movie, or is in Dark Knight Return or Rises? No. Nightfall. The Nightfall Bane is a favorite. Nightwing. Man, yeah, I could go forever talking about how Mofex has produced the perfect definitive figures. I will say, I think with Transformers right now, the MPG 17 Optimus Prime looks like a definitive version. Now, definitive to me can be different. Like when Shogo Hisui was in charge of the Masterpiece line, he would pull from cartoon, from comic, from toy, and he'd put together an amalgamation, and you would look at it and you're like, wow, that is that character. And I think he did a great job with several of his Masterpiece figures. But I think now with MPG 17, it's kind of the same idea as Shogo Hisui did back then. And I really like the look of it. So with Transformers, maybe that's it. I don't know. I mean, just looking around at my collection, there's a lot of things that I would consider definitive. How about you, Star? What do you have that's a definitive figure in your collection? Spaded one, Punisher was great. Iron Fist, not so much, like at all. I didn't see Iron Fist because I've heard that from a lot of people. Sergeant Slaughter is less than Duke or Flint. Well, no, John. I would say Sergeant Slaughter is better than Duke, but he's not as good as Flint. And Wonder Man is really more of a human story and how hard it is to break into Hollywood. Really? That might be a little more interesting to check out. Spaded one, thinking about turning this Adam Blank body into a custom Mezco-style Sergeant Slaughter. Thick boy. That would be sweet. Do it. And then just get a Sergeant Slaughter, pop his head on top of it. Let's see. Vindo Viper equals or is greater than all the Joes. You know what, Badger? Honey Badger Harry. Wow. I'm going to go with that. Yeah, De Viper. is the greatest character in all of G.I. Joe. John, first nerd love is tough. Likely Robotech, but Star Wars is close. It's hard to judge as Star Wars got much more content. Yeah, and that's tricky too. When things keep getting more and more content, it's gonna water things down, you know? So, oh man. Ooh, you guys, I gotta watch Robotech, don't I? John, Harry, that's hard to argue with. Spaded. Now I'm imagining a Joe named Viper, and it's just a guy with a squeegee accessory. Maybe that's Past Master. They're throwing us off, and Past Master, they just gave him a cowboy hat and a poncho, just as extra accessories for the Wild Bill that came with the Dragonfly. The rest of it is the Viper. And there'll be a pail and mop accessory down the road somewhere. Star Anton, really? That's so weird. I can't think of you without thinking of Doctor Who as your world. Harry, I was wondering when someone would get that. Dear Spaded One, got my Storm Arena Baki yesterday. Holy cow, such a cool little figure. Tiny little guy with all the posing bells and whistles. Please get this figure, Dave. He's on the list. I will end up with Baki. You know, I have no figures yet for this year. Like some Transformers have come in, but no action figures. I know Four Horsemen, when I had ordered Urzak and, oh man, Otho, when I ordered those, they had said, or someone had said they should be here in January. They got pushed to second quarter. So I thought I was going to have them. Now I've got nothing coming for, I think 3 Street Fighter figures are due in the first quarter of this year. So hopefully I get something, but yeah, I gotta pick up that Baki. Star, the 3-0 DLX Transformers were so close to being perfection for me. They look amazing, great articulation, but they are very fragile. So close. Jada Edge Runners first. Oh, yeah, that David's really good. I mean, I haven't gotten him, but he just looks like perfection. Anton, remember, I visit all the universes, including Marvel, DC, etc. But of course, Doctor's visited Planet of the Apes, and he's brought nothing but peace there. Nice, Harry. Nope, the mystery figure is the Window Viper. See, that's what I'm saying. He is the Viper. Or are you talking like there's a Cobra Viper that has to be the window cleaner too? Star, high hopes for Power Spatoy Expedient figs and Dreamweave Pillars of Creation figs. New worlds await. Yeah, Spaded. I want to wipe your windows. And no, my favorite joke, and he is awesome, is Airtight. Brick, really enjoyed Wonder Man. Some of the best performances in any MCU thing. The 2 leads, Abdul Mateen and Kingsley, kicked all kinds of ace. I'll have to, man, I got to check it out. Oh, yep. All right, let's get Nexus out of here. And let's keep it going. We're going to talk about what you guys have been bringing up, but I want to get through some of this stuff first. Just so we've got this out of the way. Before, we weren't sure. I mean, Wolverine wasn't up on BBTS or anywhere else. He's actually on Amazon too, but we can get the SHF Wolverine for $100. Now, if you don't have a Wolverine, this looks like a pretty good one to grab. I was looking at my 2, so I've got the X-Force and the brown suit Wolverines from Mofex. And I was looking at this, trying to figure out, would this be more photogenic than those? I don't think so. It might be on the same level, so I don't think I'm going to get him. But if you don't, again, if you don't have the Mofex and if you don't have what you consider definitive Wolverine, this is probably going to be a good one. And he's SHF, so he might be a little shorter than the other Wolverines out there. So he might be something you want to pick up. Just figured I'd fire that out. Now let's get through a few more. I look so bored, don't I, when I come on here? Hey guys, so much fun, yay. No, not bored at all. Let's get through here. What do we got? We talked a little bit about the Gridiron Warfare Skull Crushers, but we'll go through these picks right now just because they're doing something that is kind of Mezco-y. Like, I don't think they're hiding the figure so much like Mezco does. Mezco will hide what the figure is or isn't capable of. And I don't think that's that here. It's just they're cast in such heavy shadow that it's hard to make the figures out oftentimes. But here we're a little better. They used a clarity filter or really brightened him up. But here we can see what all he comes with. And this guy, he's going to be sweet. More stuff from Big Bad Workshop and Fresh Monkey Fiction. Still got to figure out how that branding works. Now, get him on out of here. Hey, it's me again. Let's keep this going. And now, Sci-Fi brought up Nightcrawler. This is the Mezco 112th Nightcrawler. And look at that. I didn't notice that. It looks like the cloth goods, or is that a separate piece? It almost looks like the cloth goods don't overlap here. Wait a sec. That can't be right because he's got cloth goods underneath it. Never mind. That's a Nightcrawler shot, ladies and gents. His cutlasses. He does look cool. Oh, he looks really cool. Look at that. His foot's got this wood. Yeah, Nightcrawler looks good. Not gonna lie, I am definitely tempted. But I've already got a couple Mezcos on pre-order, so maybe not just yet. What's everybody else thinking? Are you gonna end up getting this Nightcrawler? Brick Harry, that's exactly right. Harry Dave, you should grow an evil Spock beard. Oh, I could do it. But I don't know my Star Trek. I'd have to find the evil Spock beard first. And I hate getting hair on my face. Oh, I did the No Shave November and all that stuff way back when for a few years. And the people that worked with me hated when I do it because all I do is sit there and complain about the mustache. So, yeah, I don't know that I could do it. It would drive me crazy. Brick, I passed on Expedian because I missed the deluxe with that cool wormhead jumped in on the Pillars of Creation fig. Man, I got to figure, I don't know what you're talking about. Not cool. Dang it, Dave. Kyrus, I like the Banff effects. They light up. Nice. I didn't notice John really want Nightcrawler, but not sure I can afford right now. When's he? Let me look real quick here, John. He's due out in September for 116. So if you're a huge fan, that might be enough time to save up. But it always depends on what else we collect, you know? Like for me, people will say, yeah, but I mean, maybe it's $500, but you got a year to save up. That's true. But then you look and you're going, but I want to do that with this and this and this and this and that and the other thing too. So it's always a dicey proposition. Let's see. Wait, did I miss this? Okay, sorry. Star, do you think the Master June is waiting for us to give him the go-ahead to put up the pre-orders for Edge Runners Wave 2 and Invincible Wave 1? It's been a while, and I'm weary of the wait. I think he is. June, it's okay. You can put those things up now. There you go. Done. But also, it might be that he's waiting for New York Toy Fair, and maybe it has something to do with how much room they're going to be able to get on shelves because of New York Toy Fair. We'll see. I don't know. Like, I would love to see Jada start taking over a few more pegs at Targets and Walmarts. Spaded One, how in the world do they not include a rosary Bible or go all out and give them priest robes? Oh, man. I mean, a Bible at least for sure. Oh, yeah, and you would think a rosary would do it. Priest robes would be like a whole new outfit. Coming in 2028, Nightcrawler dressed in the priest stuff. Kyrus, I'll wait for Mofex to do Nightcrawler. Yeah, that's usually what I think, but this one does look really good. And I don't know that Nightcrawler is on any of the rumored lists. Spaded One, but yes, I'm getting this. Nightcrawler is a childhood fave. My first cat was named Nightcrawler. Really? That's sweet. Yeah, Nightcrawler's a fave of mine too. Like Wolverine and Nightcrawler, the buddies, game on for sure. So that's what's making this tough. Harry, an evil Spock beard would be worth it. I don't know. It depends on the people around me if they think it was worth it. John, I think it depends on my tax return. Yep, that'll do it. Sci-Fi Mondo came out with a Superman the Animated Series 6-inch figure with Lois Lane and Mr. Mxyzptlk. Or is it Mxyzptlk? I can't remember. For $250, but Lois and Mixie are stuck in static poses, not fully articulated. Wasn't that a 12-inch figure? I thought it was a 12-inch figure, and because I did see about them, and yeah, you're right. But I think I was watching Mad Hatter about that, and it's only $15 more than like the regular version, and you get the static Lois and the static Mr. Mxyzptlk or Mxyzptlk, whatever you say. So if you're into that line, I think that's the way to go, is to just spend the extra 15. But I don't know. Star Brick, awesome. Are you as excited as I am? Space Militaries rock. The deluxe version is still available at BBTS. More figs in that line are on the way. Nice. Spaded One, Sci-Fi, hard plastic cape 2. Toy Biz did a Doctor Strange with a soft plastic wired cape. What happened to that technology? First off, is it really technology? But second, I don't know. I don't know. Now, let's try and get through these because I'm looking at 8 o'clock already. Hang on. Let's keep busting through here. All right. Pre-orders are sold out on Lord Starkiller. I would say either Hasbro or BBTS underestimated how much people would want this thing. So I would guess that he'll go up again, but I can't be 100% sure. Check out Hasbro Pulse. Keep checking BBTS. From what I understand, this is a fan channel exclusive. I ultimately decided against getting it only because I know nothing about the figure or about the character. I still think he looks incredible. And if this is the direction that the Black Series is going, I can't wait. Like, I'm probably more excited about what the Black Series shows when it comes to Toy Fair than I am Marvel Legends and possibly even G.I. Joe Classified, which I know is crazy. But based on this, I really want to see what the Black Series team is putting together. All right, let's get through. There's 2 more things on BBTS to check out. One, we haven't talked much about the NECA Mirage stuff recently, and this is a Triceraton in space. Again, probably not something that I need to go nuts for. I think their Zog is incredible, though, so who knows? And these guys, when you think of the turtles, you do think of the Triceratons, but you think more of the other Triceratons than the space ones? Maybe not? I don't know. But I think of the Utroms more than like the generic Triceratons. So I might get some Utroms and not so much this guy. Still, I'm looking to try and determine. It looks like, yeah, it's just the diaphragm cut. So if I picked him up, I'd feel like I wouldn't be entirely happy because it's just the diaphragm. It looks like. I hate being picky, but definitive, man, definitive. Even though this is probably the most definitive this will ever get. But at the same time of it being definitive, it needs to be something I know I'm going to be happy with in the long term. Still, I do love that they go this deep. And now the last thing to show you on BBTS, then we got one more store to check out before we get into some of the other stuff, are these Tamashii effects that are out and kicking. We've got Splosions, and who doesn't love Splosions? So these are on BBTS, which means I'm sure you can find them most anywhere else. So we've got those ones, and we've got the gray version as well, which I really like how that's painted up. It might be a little heavy. I don't know. It kind of looks like it's kind of a gray version, but maybe it was in the sand or like a mud pit or something. Just boom. Like you could get this with your Dark Knight Returns Batman fighting the mutant leader and just like a big punch, and this looks like a big splash of mud going on. I think that'd be kind of sweet. But yeah, I wanted to make sure and show everybody these Tamashii effects. I think they're worth it, and they're things that I need to start loading up on. I probably, if I had all the money in the world, I would go back and I'd catch up on the lines I need to catch up on, not get tons going forward because, there's not tons that come out every year that I'm like, oh man, I need that. But I would load up on Valaverse accessory sets and Tamashii Nation's effect parts for sure. Now, Mr. Madsen, how do we still not have the pre-orders for Scooby-Doo Wave 2? Did those not go? I thought those went up for pre-order. Or do you mean how do we still not have them in hand? I don't know. See, Anton Nightcrawler is a really cool character in the 96 series, though he was so disappointed about what Rogue did. Yeah, well, Nightcrawler, he's very judgmental. I'm kidding, he's not very judgmental at all. Star Brick Pillars of Creation fig was available at Bombusby for a long time. Looks like they retooled him as the one up now is drastically different from the previous version. Sci-Fi Dave, it is 12-inch. My bad. No problem, Sci-Fi. I wanted to make sure because if Mondo is releasing more 1/12 scale, I got to pay more attention to Mondo. Stars, Master June in trouble. Does he need help? POs are missing. We need to find out. He may be in danger. Oh, I wasn't ready for this. Now I'm worried. Don't worry. Master June knows what's up. He will fight his way out of any situation. John, he's another depends on funds. Cool. But I still don't have a Zog. Zog is one of those characters I would say is definitive. Like the NECA Zog is incredible. Mr. Madsen, the pre-order either never went up or BBTS canceled them. I swore I pre-ordered them, but they're not on BBTS. Wow. That could be bad. Anton Triceraton is a ruthless group in the original comic, and the series that they did for Nickelodeon was even more vicious. They tried to destroy the Earth. Oh yeah, I'm aware. I know the Triceratons. I don't know. For some reason, that one just doesn't seem definitive, like the Triceraton, Like Zog is awesome, but Zog, the version I have, is the one where he goes a little insane. Okay, so let's jump in right now. Those were the last things with Big Bad Toy Store. Now I want to jump in. Sci-Fi brought up the weapons tin or the kit tin that Valaverse has up. This is everything you get in the $85 set. So there's that. A lot of stuff. I'm looking right now. You got plenty of pistols. Oh yeah, this set's not bad at all. So if anybody wants to start outfitting their figures, I look at this and I wonder how these would fit on Classified. Would they be interchangeable with Monster Force? I mean, again, I love how Vala runs the Valaverse line. I just think this is incredible. I think the man's doing a heck of a job. And then we've got this one here that comes with several figures as well. And those figures, at least two of them have shotguns, which is sweet because Flint needs shotguns. But I did order that pack with shotguns, so he should be taken care of. But this, let me look here real quick. I don't remember what the price is. Yeah, $147 on this, which is, let's see, 85.47. Doing the quick math. $62 more. 85.47, 15. No, $61 more. Or no, 47. Yeah, $62 more for 4 additional figures and these accessories. So if you like it all, it's a decent deal. I mean, the $85 for all this might be a decent deal too. So if you're looking at getting a bunch of stuff from Valaverse, I would probably consider picking these up. The only thing that's a little disappointing is that these guys don't have their own like specialized gear packs, but then maybe that's what these are for. You can start outfitting them with that stuff, which is pretty sweet. And I love that they all come with extra hands. Oh, that makes me happy. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff indeed. John, plus you can buy Reaper, the Vanguard driver, separately now. Yeah, Sci-Fi brought that up. I didn't even know. I knew about the gear kits and all that, so I thought, ooh, I better click over on those. So yeah, there's just like, we didn't think, or I didn't think hardly anything would happen between now and Toy Fair, and all this stuff blew up. Now, let me get rid of, I've got some things in here. I did prep a folder, I swear, that I need to get rid of a couple things. Let's go to delete all that now. Here's some of the more exciting stuff. Open, open, open. There we go. I can never find the buttons. Some of the more crazy stuff. The first Instagram post I saw today after waking up was this. So the very first things that I saw, we're starting to see package samples from eBay of some of the G.I. Joe classified stuff that's coming out. We have the Royal Guard here. That's the front. That's the back of the package. Now, of course, plenty of heads. He looks like he's got at least 2 heads. Maybe 2 heads and a mask. I'm not sure. But I didn't see extra hands. Fortunately, I haven't gone all in on Cobra La, so I'll be okay to miss out on this guy. But again, here's another figure that looks pretty darn good. I am indeed impressed with what Lenny and the team there continues to do. I am confident, by the way, that with all of Lenny's competition doing a lot of extra hands, I am confident the reason they're not throwing extra hands in there is because of the higher ups. Because I think Lenny is like the others. He's like Evan, he's like Mark, he's like Trevor, he's like June. They want to give us everything, but they're hampered by the money people, which is fair. So I never hold anything against those guys in particular. And then we also got a package sample of Ninja Force Zartan, which it looks, I don't know, it actually doesn't look as ridiculous in the package as I thought it was going to look, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if everybody's seen these or not, but when I saw these, the Royal Guard specifically, because I kind of forgot he was coming, I was kind of blown away when I saw these things. Kairos Toypixx, remember a few months ago, those 1/6 Hero Superman and Batman figures came out with stiff feet and stiff hands? Now apparently there's a body with articulated, very expensive. I don't remember the 1/6 Hero Superman and Batman figures. I don't remember, Kairos. Do you remember what the company was? For Superman, okay. Hero Superman 1/6. Royal Guard with 4 heads. Oh, really? Nice. Star, that Cobra La guy looks more like a guy from Sectars rather than a guy from G.I. Joe. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's fair. And he looks quite a bit like the character that was in the movie. By the way, one of the best animated things of all time is the opening sequence to that G.I. Joe movie. The song, Armies of the Night. This is why I don't sing, but you know what I'm talking about now. Anton, remember, buy more toys, buy more comic books, and always have fun. Anton, you too. Hope you have a great night, man. Thanks as always for stopping by. Much appreciated. So there are these. Pretty crazy to see box sets of Ninja Force Zartan or boxed samples. And the Royal Guard, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he does look good for sure. Now, interesting reveals from Hasbro Korea's live stream. Now, this, I would say, we're definitely reaching into grain of salt territory, although everything he referenced has been on the leak lists for quite a while right now. So, the Beast Wars 30th anniversary pack. He mentioned that he received a sample for safety testing and confirmed that it is an all-in-one set of the Predacon 7. Now, the Predacon 7, I believe, if we look back at Beast Wars when it was the animated series, I think we have Megatron, We have Waspinator, Tarantulas, Pterosaur, Black Arachnia, Scorponok, and Inferno. I think those are the characters that would be the Predacon 7. Let's see, and featuring paint deco closer to the animation. He also stated that while he has not yet received a sample of the Maximal set, it is planned as an all-in-one set as well. First off, that Predacon set, if true, would be insanely pricey. Secondly, that Maximal set, it would probably be the first 5 Maximals, less pricey, but still pretty crazy. So I don't know. And it seems weird, although, I mean, where else would you get leaks except from Hasbro people? On the other hand, you can find leak listings on websites and all that that maybe aren't necessarily from Hasbro people. For whatever reason, I'm finding it strange, and maybe this all comes true and I won't find it strange anymore, but I'm finding it very strange that a Hasbro employee would say this, even though it says from Hasbro Korea's live stream. It just seems odd that they'd be saying these things. So community leaks, information often gets out through the community faster than from Hasbro itself. Yeah, we knew that. This is, by the way, anybody that doesn't know, Beast Wars, this is Transformers. Studio Series 86 Astro Train. It uses a new mold, though it may not be an entirely brand new mold from scratch. So my guess there would be, if true, they're making the shuttle look better than it did initially. Or I'm sorry, or is it the train? I think it's the train that needs to look better. Either way, one of them needs to look better because it just looked really rough in the back area. Now, they probably cleaned that up quite a bit. Let's see, he also noted that Shockwave will be more animation accurate in appearance, and while its alt mode is a laser gun, it is expected to be similar to the Siege version, which probably means the way that they were able to sell it in Siege is they said he was a submarine, and they basically turned the laser gun upside down. Now, Fast and Furious collaboration looks like a possibility. And then the question was raised, is 2027 the year of Megatron? So a lot of people are on there right now going, oh man, this is the Megatron I'd want if true and all that. So this is all very interesting. Remains to be seen what all's going on with it though. John, truth, the intro to G.I. Joe, the movie, is the best. Yeah, man. I will go once in a while. I'll just turn on YouTube to watch that and then just go about my day. You just feel better after watching it. Kyrus, the company is called Hero Toys. Okay, got it, Kyrus. Thank you. John, I just want Astro Train to be Commander, Jetfire sized. Oh, man. I don't think if they're just using, what was he before? Was he leader sized? I think he was leader before. And I think that's what they'd make him again, just because if he's not an all new mold, I think that's what they'd have to do. That's a shame. All right, so that's what we got from that. Now, we talked a little bit here about this on Monday, but Hasbro got the Street Fighter movie license. I told you guys my concern with this is Hasbro worming their way into the video game license as well. Now, I'm not saying they've done it. I'm not saying there's a low or high likelihood. Hasbro's going to have more money than Jada. They're going to have more distribution than Jada. So I am a little concerned about them doing Street Fighter. Now, I don't know what that means for anybody else, or if you guys have those same concerns I do. I just overall think Jada is able to do a better job than Hasbro on figures. At the same time, I don't really have a horse in the fight, or horse in the race, I guess. A dog in the fight, horse in the race. There we go. Because I don't get movie figures. So I'm not too worried about this as a line. I'm just worried about Hasbro worming its way into Capcom, into like more video game territory. Let's see, John, looks like just the movie, which I think was mentioned earlier. Yeah, that's all that they got for the license. It's just now they're in there building their relationship with Capcom. So that's what I'm worried about. Or Legendary. Maybe it's not even Capcom so much. Maybe it's Legendary Pictures, which I'm far more okay with. But if they're in there building their relationship with Capcom, That makes me nervous because they're going to have much better distribution than Jada. And I don't want Hasbro touching Street Fighter aside from the movie. I want Jada to be able to keep cooking like they are. So again, I'm not saying that they've got the video game license. I know this is just for the movie, but I just don't want them building those relationships, you know? John, yeah, but Hasbro can't match Jada for quality and price. That's true, but they've got the distribution. So they might be able to make Capcom more money. Star, Predacons will always be the original 5 that form Predaking to me. Now, I'm with you there. I love Predaking. Let's see, thought it was strange that only 3 of the original Predacons were actual predators. Rhinox and bulls are not predators. I never thought of that, but you're absolutely right. Oh, man. Tantrum and Headstrong, what are you guys doing? Get out of there. John, it's also not the first time that Hasbro did Street Fighter, the Street Fighter and Power Rangers mini line. When was that? I remember them doing the G.I. Joe Street Fighter line. I don't remember them doing Power Rangers. All right, and then the most recent movie, Voltron. Now, I don't know. I would be more inclined to jump in on a Voltron movie line just because there's so little for Voltron as far as action figures are concerned. I would be more likely to jump in on a Voltron movie line than anything else. So now my concern is, how's Hasbro going to do it? Are they going to do a good job, or are they going to do a cost savings job? You know, I want them to do a good job. I want all the companies to produce really great product. Some just don't do it as much as others do. So, man, I don't know. I want this to be cool, but people on message boards have made a good point. They've said you couldn't do Power Rangers and you own it, and they've got Zords and all that stuff. How do you think you're going to do Voltron? And I think that's a fair critique. So we just have to wait and see. Hopefully something like this. I mean, I think it's too early for us to see anything like this at Toy Fair, just because we haven't even gotten previews of the movies yet, have we? I'm not sure. So yeah, I don't know. I'm more, what's the word I'm trying to figure out? I mean, more likely, but there's a different word. Anyway, yes, I'm more likely to jump in on a movie line for Voltron than I am Street Fighter, because, hey, we're getting great action figures from Jada and Storm Arena for Street Fighter. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, I kind of want Lenny and those guys to work on the Voltron line, but I also don't want them to get pulled away from G.I. Joe. So we'll see what happens. On the other hand, the Star Wars team does a great job with their sculpts. And if they're doing things like Lord Starkiller now moving forward, maybe they could jump in on it. Maybe I was going to say maybe they'd have a dedicated team. You're not going to put a dedicated team on a movie, I don't think. John, 2022, 2023 for Street Fighter and Power Rangers. Oh, you're right. Oh, I'm picturing the Chun-Li right now. Oh, man, how did I forget all about that? So they've already got the relationship, and it hasn't affected the video game stuff in 3 years. Actually, I feel better about that, John, now that you brought that up. Thank you, sir. But hopefully, still, I'm always nervous that they're worming their way in. But, man, I completely forgot about that line. Spaded One, I don't trust Hasbro to make anything great anymore. It's wish these licenses went to the other similar companies actually fighting to put out a good product. Jada, Storm Arena, Joy Toy, etc. I do too. Like, I wish they would go to those companies as well. I think what Hasbro has and Mattel has that these other companies don't have, and I didn't even think about it until McFarlane lost the license to Mattel, is the distribution, is worldwide distribution, which obviously means they can make a lot more, they can sell a lot more product to a lot more people, which would make the licensor money or more money. So that's the only thing. That's why That's why if you're any of these larger brands that are trying to get toys made, I would say that's why you work with Mattel or Hasbro, is you want the biggest infiltration of the most amount of markets you can get. And those are the two with the distribution that's going to make that happen. I still don't like it. I prefer Jada. I prefer Storm Arena. I prefer Fresh Monkey Fiction, Big Bad Workshop, Valaverse. I prefer all those. But they don't have the distribution that a place like Hasbro and Mattel has. And I think that's what's up. Star Spaded One, bravo, totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I do too. John Spaded One, I think they can make great figures, but will they? I mean, I think they've shown they can make pretty good figures with G.I. Joe. It's just that the guys on top are kind of really trying to not stretch that dollar much. And Lenny and the team has to sit there and deal with what they can. Star, I miss movies that I look forward to. The only films I'm anticipating right now is Godzilla 0 and Shin Godzilla 2. What happened to Hollywood? They started getting too scared to take chances because they're all publicly traded. And I really believe right now, and here's another reason I believe this, and think of it what you will, but if you guys noticed that little things like are harder to open, so like, you know, where you buy just a thing of whatever, like something, frozen vegetables or something, and they've got the little perforation that you tear so that you can dump the bag of frozen vegetables in the bowl, throw it in the microwave, whatever, right? Companies today are making that perforation harder and harder. And like, it's harder to open this stuff. Like, I buy so many perforated things today that I have to use scissors on. And I think that's just the sign of the times. I think these huge companies are starting to get away from consumer experience and starting to move toward shareholder value. It's all a spectrum. And for a long time, they were straddling the line. Now they're not. They're starting to go to shareholder value way more. And however they can make things a little cheaper, they're doing it. That's what happened to Hollywood. And that's what's happening to a lot of companies right now, I think. Now with Hollywood, yeah, you don't take risks because risk isn't good for shareholder value. So you keep making sequels and remakes. John, they have a habit of cheaping out C Black Series, but can go back and make that new Star Killer fig. That's fair, man. That's fair. But how many of them are they going to be able to do that with? I hope a lot. Spaded, John, they had a great run of Legends toward the end of 2024, 2025, or early 2025. Yeah, but they didn't have ball peg waist, so can we really call them great, Spaded One? But for some reason, nothing they do ever lives up to the Classified line. That I have to think is because they own Classified. But who knows? John Spaded One, and even their Classified line is inconsistent. You get the retro Cobra Troopers, man, then you get the retro Vipers. Amazing. Yeah. Kairos Toypixx, I want some new Gamera movies. I don't know. Ooh. I wonder, how big do you guys think kaiju are? That could be taken a couple ways, I suppose. I mean, Godzilla -1 did well here. I'm assuming kaiju movies do the best over in like areas like Japan, yeah? Like how well do kaiju movies do as far as worldwide box office? Because I gotta think that a Gamera movie might happen, or at least putting Gamera in with Godzilla or King Kong. Although King Kong's more American. Let's see, Mr. Matson, John, you must have gotten the Temu Cobra Troopers. Well, I mean, in all fairness, with the Cobra Troopers, the Vipers came with a bunch of extra hands and all that. And the Cobra Troopers were just Cobra Troopers. But I don't know. I mean, my favorite Cobra Troopers are still the Cobra Island ones. I want to load up on those and just put some Valaverse hands in them. Now, what else do we have? Oh, yes, these were brought up earlier. So here's some pictures that are floating around. These are total rumor. We don't know, but we've seen them for a bit now. We have an Akuma with white hair. I can't remember what the deal was with this, but apparently this particular version of Akuma is a very big deal. So there we go. We have this as a rumor right now. but maybe it's a possibility. They are rumoring that this is an SDCC type thing. So we'll see. Same with the blue Blanca. Now, you had to figure a blue Blanca was coming out. So this doesn't surprise me one bit. I could totally see this being an exclusive of some kind. I could see this being a straight up Jada shot. Now, this is interesting. I'm not a glow in the dark figure kind of guy, but that's a good looking Blanca, and it glows in the dark, and you give it some energy effects. I wonder if it's electricity effects, glow in the dark as well, if it comes out looking like this, if this is real. I have to think it is, but on the off chance it's not, this is a rumor kind of thing. But if it is, do his electricity effects glow in the dark too. That would be sweet. And I would be tempted to pick it up for that, because right now I'm good with my Blanca. Now I know a Blanca will, I'm sure, come out with player one Blanca hands or heads or something new for him, and I'll have to get it just for those, then sell off the player two version. But right now, this thing does look pretty cool. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Here we go. See, Kyrus like Galacticize in the new FF movie? Yeah, probably. What I was trying to get at was how much money, like, do kaiju movies do really well worldwide? John Kyrus, I have a Gamera collection. I got cheap that I need to watch this spring, not digging through anything in the walk-in fridge until then. Yeah, man, stay out of the cold if at all possible. I actually, just before the live stream, I went outside so I could brush off my car in the hopes that there's not more snow on it when I leave, because cold and snow, and it's bad. Star Kyrus, that's close. There are rumblings of a Gamera film with the success of Godzilla -1. Sweet. Let's see. Dai Studios sold off Gamera a while ago. Not sure who owns it currently. Oh, really? You would think they'd hold on to kaiju. Maybe not. I don't know. John, Mr. Matson, they were okay, but not nearly the same quality of the Vipers. I got the Vipers first and was disappointed with the Troopers. That's too bad. Let's see, the white hair Akuma is SDCC 2026. Awesome. All right, we'll take it. John, Spaded One, very true on their quality. I got them all cheap and they're okay. Spaded One, still don't understand how nobody has made a custom beast on that Blanca butt. Oh man, that's a good call. I wonder if the beast head, like the Marvel Legends beast head, can just fit on Blanca. Ooh, it's 832. Look at that. Blue Blanca looks like an angry Oompa Loompa on steroids. I do not disagree, Star. Trying to be good, trying not to say these words. I would love to say these words. I would have so much fun. Sci-fi. There are no rumors, just truths that have yet to be exposed as lies. I like it, Sci-fi. I like it. All right, guys, so I think, let me make sure that's all I got. Yeah, that's it. So there you go. We're just past 8:30. It's time for me to get out of here. Maybe get a bowl of dessert somewhere, even though it's cold. Maybe a hot something. Nah, just a bowl of dessert in a warm blanket. Yes, Dave's in a blanket. That's not a dessert. That's something I'll never say again. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks as always for coming out and hanging out this fine evening. You could have done anything, and you chose to come hang out with all of us, and I massively appreciate it. So, until next time, have fun and happy snapping. See ya. I'm hitting end stream once, and now I'm hitting it again. Ladies and gentlemen, I hit it again.